Good morning, everyone. How are you? Come in here and say good morning. See what we've got. Yay, I'm not sideways. All right, good morning, Mimi. Good morning, Julie. How are you guys this morning? Oh, I need to turn on my little sign here while you guys are signing on. I'll let you guys know that I love you. Good morning, Alicia. Thank you for my beautiful card. I got it yesterday, and it's exactly when I needed, and it was so filled with love that it just filled my heart right up. I appreciate that. Thank you. I am good, Julie. Thank you. My body is good so far. I mean, I have my first cup of coffee. We'll see how it is by the end of practice. Good morning, Petra. Nice to see you here. So today's practice, if you guys didn't see it in the comments, I was trying to be cheeky. It's, what's your angle? I thought that was cute. But that means we're going to work on poses that have angles in them. We're on day 38, and creativity is getting low. So I have to kind of reach out there for you. So we're going to do poses that have angles in them. So sometimes the Sanskrit name has angle in it. And so angle pose in Sanskrit is Konasana. Konasana, Konasana. So you'll have poses like side angle, which would be Uttita, which means extended. Side angle, which is Parsva, that's the side part, Konasana. So a lot of these have angle in Sanskrit, but then yoga moves to the West and we just name them whatever we want to name them, because like when we do a wide angle forward fold, we call it wide angle forward fold. But that to us is whether we're sitting on the floor or standing up. But in Sanskrit, when you're standing up and you lean forward, it's Prasarita Padottanasana. So wide-footed stance is what it means. So we're just going to go with the English version of that. So it's all about angles. It's going to be fun. And then I'm going to do a really crazy, stupid, hard one because I know Frank will be on here in a little bit. And he's going to ask it, oh, you're drinking creme brulee? I need to be at your house. Well, I made fresh banana bread again last night. So I don't have creme brulee, but I do have banana bread. I didn't mean to whip you yesterday. Sorry about that, Alicia. Your full body got worked. Parker is hiding because it's raining here. So Mimi's in Miami. Good morning, Barbara. He's being weird. I asked him if he wanted to come, and he didn't. So we'll see how that works. Maybe in a little bit I'll hear him come to the door and I can let him in. Good morning, you guys. So yeah, we have that peak pose that I was talking about. Good morning, Celeste. For me, the peak pose. It won't be for you guys. It's going to be just for your hilarity. It's Astava. So Astava is 8 in Sanskrit. Kranasana. So in English, we call it 8 angle pose. 8 angles, right? You have to have a lot of hips and a lot of upper body and balance to do that. Well, I don't mean a lot of hips. I mean flexibility in the hips to do it. And that's going to be the funsies at the end, kind of like couple of days ago I did Firefly because Frank asked. And he'll ask about it, trust me. Whenever he signs on, he'll see it. Good morning, Neva. Parker is hiding. I love that he is like my co-star, and everybody loves my co-star. It's raining here, and so he's hiding. Oh, so I have to tell you this while you guys are signing in. When I got your card yesterday, Alicia, and it was filled with love, and I'm reading it, and I'm like, oh, my heart was all full. I'm going like this, which I typically do too when I get like cards that have glitter on them. I just kind of go like this so the glitter's on me then. And I took the open card like this, and I was going, and Taylor's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm spreading the love. And he just busted out laughing. All right, so we're getting ready to get started. We're going to work on angle poses, and that's what I was mentioning to everybody as they were signing on. We should not need any props other than props that you know that you'll need for your body. Let's say if you have a knee issue or something where you're going to need a blanket to go under your knees, or you shouldn't need a block unless you like to use a block and triangle. I try to give your own body as a prop for these postures so that you can really always have that prop with you. So using your shin or your thigh always is helpful. But if you want a block, you'll get that. Yeah, it's a stiff storm there, Mimi. You'll get it in a little while. It was raining. So he was on my side of the bed trying to hide under my shoes and the rug. We'll see if he'll come out. I even tried to lure him out with a treat, and he's like, no way, Jose. He wouldn't even go outside to potty. So he hasn't even potty today. All right, it looks like we're about to start. Everybody's signed in. We got 6 folks ready. All right, one more slurp. And we'll get started. All right, I hope everybody's body's doing well. And again, I was trying to be cheeky with the title of today's practice is What's Your Angle? Because it's all about angle postures. And again, creativity is getting a little short after 38 days, no repeats. But I'm in it to win it for you guys. So we're going to start in a comfortable seated position. We're going to let the head come forward. We're going to feel the back of the neck stretch. And then the head comes up, right ear, right shoulder. Left ear, left shoulder. And back to the center. Lift pelvic floor, pull the navel in. Here's where we set our intention. And since we're talking about Sanskrit words, intention is sankalpa in Sanskrit. What is your intention for the class? Maybe your day, maybe your life. And it doesn't have to be the same as yesterday or even 5 minutes ago. What's your intention right this moment? Set that and find your breath. And then we're going to open those eyes, lace the fingers, press out and up. Frank, I have already been talking about you this morning. Good morning, Mom. And turn to the right, tall spine. So today is angle poses. And I put 8 angle poses in there just for you, Frank. It takes place of the firefly for today's practice, just for fun. We're going to let that left shoulder come down, right hand comes up. Nice big stretch, feel that opening through side body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly we're going to come back up. Back to the center. Hands come out and up. And turn to the left, tall spine. Nice. And good morning, Wendy. And right shoulder comes down. And left hand comes up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly come back up. And come back to the center. Leaning out. Nice big stretch here. We feel that work in the hips and through the back body. I'm feeling that work too, Alicia. We did a lot of work yesterday. Well, that and I worked in the yard. And I have decided that working in the yard will kill you faster than anything else. Lengthen through the crown of the head. 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly we come back up. We're going to change the cross of the legs. Good morning, Randy. Randy, wait. Tomorrow's your birthday. So happy birthday if I forget to text you tomorrow. Right arm comes down, left arm reaches. So everything about today's practice is about angles. We have a couple of angle postures that we're going to go through. Now we have angles in all kinds of postures like this one right here. This movement that we have going on with that forearm down and this arm reaching, that's that same movement we do in side angle, except the leg placement's different. We're going to allow that left hand to come up. We're going to circle through. Left arm comes through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gently release and extend. And slowly we're going to come back up. Left arm comes down. Right arm reaches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hand slowly comes up. Bend at the elbow. Twist it through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unwind and lengthen. And hands come back up. And roll behind. Lift the chest up. Open your heart. Smile. We're going to come forward. Let those hands come up. Fingertips come up. Maybe you can come into the Kali Mudra. I like to do it. You don't have to. You can just have your fingers like this. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hands come down as we come up. Backs of the hands come together. Roll back body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And gently release. Maybe rotate those shoulders a little bit, checking in. We're going to cross those arms. Broadening through the back. Chin to those elbows. Nice full breath. And gently release. I'm going to roll the shoulders. Right ear, right shoulder. Left ear, left shoulders. Back to the center. And release. We're going to put the bottoms of those feet together. Now, this is our first angle pose. This in Sanskrit is called Vista Konasana. Bound angle pose. Because this is making the angle, right? And bound means you're normally grabbing your feet, but in the West, we call it Cobblers Pose because of shoemakers holding the shoes. Sometimes it's called butterfly, but in Sanskrit, it's bound angle pose. So we're going with that version since this is an angle class. So we're going to lengthen through the crown of the head, lifting pelvic floor, pulling the navel in, and slowly we begin to bend at the hip crease, lengthening through the spine. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where's your breath? Slowly we're going to come up. We're going to bring the knees up. We're going to cross those arms, roll the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring those knees up, change the cross, roll back body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring those knees back in. We're going to reach down, grab the right foot, and lift up. Nice big stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And put that foot down. We're going to let that left one come up. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to put that left foot down. Now, once we put the left foot down, we're going to drop those knees over to the left. Now, I really like the way that this works through the IT band. And some people, they sit here, this isn't a lot of work for them. It depends on if they're running a lot and they're just kind of sitting and waiting. So you're going to add things to it. So from here, you can add your foot to here, if you like. If you want to reach around and grab it, you can. If you want to use right wrist here to get a stretch, you can. So you're like, that is way too much effort this morning. What can I do that's kind of sort of some effort, but not that much effort? Well, what you can do for that is here and just the wrist. So my hand would be here, just leaning down into that right wrist. That's it. That's the only effort right now. That's all you can muster. And we're going to release that out. We're going to flip the legs to the other side. So we drop the legs to the other side. So we're sitting here. This is typically easy for most folks. So again, what's the next level of effort? The next level of effort would be just to put your left hand under this knee and lean into that left wrist. So you can get some wrist work. If you want more effort, the foot would be up here, but the foot won't stay there. That's why you have to bind, because it'll flop off. So you find your level of effort. It's early yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gently release it out. Nicely done. We're going to extend those legs out. Nice little bounce. And now we're going to get to our second angle. So we're going to work on Vista Konasana. Now, Vista Konasana is the seated forward fold. So the other wide angle forward fold, remember I was saying it doesn't even have an angle in it except in the Western version because it's Prasarita Tonasana. Prasarita Padottanasana. But here, this is called wide angle forward fold or Vista Konasana. So we're going to practice that. We're going to lean forward. So here's your angle, and we're trying to walk out. Finding some breath. The toes are up. And maybe just a little bit more. And it's still early in the practice, and your muscles may be going, not today. And that's all right. So you just walk out. We want the navel to lead. We don't want the navel to go this way. We don't want the spine to collapse, I guess is the right word here. We want to elongate, nice and tall, then hinge at hip, not at waistline, to see if you can come forward. And I'm tight this morning too. Normally my chest just goes prick, but not today. And it doesn't matter to me. Either way, it doesn't bother me. I feel the work in my legs. My feet are active. I'm pulling that pelvic floor up, finding my breath as I lengthen through the crown of my head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly we're going to come up. And we're going to move the torso towards that right knee. And we're going to try to lean over that right leg and stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Coming back up, we're going to walk the body over to that left leg and lean over it. Good morning, Lizzie. And coming forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly we come up, walking back to the center, forward folding. Nice stretch here. Feel that work through the insides of the legs. Nice big stretch. Now, this is Vista Konasana. But Vista Konasana has a part B. So this, I would say, is A. But the second part of it is we create this shape again, but we do it while we're balanced on our booties. So we're going to come up into a seated position. We're going to bring the feet in. I like to help the knees so there's not a lot of effort in the backs of the knees. So we come back into Baddha Konasana, right? Bound angle pose, which is Cobblers Pose. And we're going to grab the outsides of our feet. And maybe today, that's all you're doing. That's okay. We're playing together. It's a way that we can have basically coffee club every morning at 9 a.m. plus yoga. That's it, right? So we do what we can. Now, Vista Konasana B, or the second part of it, is here. So there's balance that's going on. There's wide angle that's going on. So we're going to try to do the best we can. Ultimately, you would also look up, but your head is kind of heavy. And a lot of times when you look up and that 12 pounds of head gets moved, you typically roll back, and that's okay. 3, 4, 5. You're going to release the head first. You're going to bend those knees, bring those feet in, and rest. And that's funsies, guys. We're having fun with this practice. It's a playful practice. Bring those knees in. We're going to extend the legs out. Nice little bounce. Hope you guys are having a good time. We're getting lots of comments here. All right. We're going to lean forward. Nice big stretch. Maybe you have to change how your sits bones sit. I do a little slide here to get the flesh of the glutes to go back. I'm just going to reach forward towards my feet. Trying to see what's going on in the legs and in the hip. And I have a little pull here that's not normal today. So I'm just waiting to see if it needs to warm up, or if gravity pulling forward will eventually just release that tissue. It feels like the connective tissue's kind of gotten in a bind. Kind of like how your t-shirt will get wrinkled and caught. So we'll see if that will work out a little bit. As we come up, we're going to bring that right leg over the left. Coming forward, nice big stretch here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly we come up. That foot comes next to the knee. We're going to rotate to the right, tall spine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to come back to the center. We're going to grab the foot. Now once we grab the foot, we're going to rock it out a little bit, helping everybody's hips. Nice full work here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to gently release. We're going to put that foot down on the inside of this thigh, and we're going to lean forward over this leg and see what we've got this morning. Ah, nice work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly we come back up. Right hand comes behind, press down. They come up, lengthen through arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Booty comes right back down. Right foot comes into the thigh. Tall spine here. And we're going to lift it on up. Bring that right knee down. Tall spine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And gently release and extend. Bounce. We're going to let the left leg come over the right and leaning in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And up. Foot comes next to the knee. Rotating to the left. Tall spine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to come back to the center. We're going to grab that foot, rock it out. Feel the tissue in the hip releasing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From there, we're going to take that foot, place it on the inside of the thigh. Slowly, we begin to lean forward. Nice forward fold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly, we come up. Left hand comes behind. Press down to come up. Lengthen through side body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Booty comes right back down. Foot comes into the thigh. And from there, lift that right leg up. And left knee comes down. Maybe. You guys still with me? In here, resting. See what you guys are up to. Good morning, everybody. All right. You can't get this to go away. There you guys are. And then gently release, and we're going to bounce it out. Yay, us. So we have done our Vista Konasana, so our bound angle posture. We've done our wide angle on the floor, Vista Konasana, part A and part B. We're going to pull those knees in, we're going to roll back and release that lower back. And slowly we roll back, pulling those knees into the chest, a nice little rock. Arms come out to the side. We're going to drop those knees to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to see if maybe we can extend that leg out, feel that work right here in the hip. We want to pre-stretch this hip because when we make it to our feet, we're going to practice triangle pose and we're going to do revolved triangle pose. And revolved triangle pose really gets into the same space in the hip. And this is giving us a little pre-stretch so when we make it to that posture, we'll have a little more success. We're going to release out. We're going to bring those knees up. We're going to drop those knees over to the right. Now, once we drop them over to the right, we feel the waist open, and we feel the twist in that side body all the way up into serratus anterior, connective tissue. But we're going to extend that left leg out and put it in right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gently release. Bring those knees back up. Let the feet come up. We're going to grab those feet, pulling down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From there, we're going to cross those knees, grab those ankles, pull them down and up. Flattening out the back body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to switch. Pull it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to unwind. You guys are doing amazing. And I know I'm not there, but you showed up, which means you're doing amazing. We're going to put the bottoms of the feet on the floor. Literally, all of these postures that we do, there's angles in them. There's just not necessarily angles in their names. So we're going to lift up, and you can see here that there is an angle right here. Nice long angle, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly we roll back down. Let's try again. Push down through the feet, lifting up. Big lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nicely done. We're going to pull those knees in. Nice little rock. Cross at those ankles. And we're going to try to roll up. Making it up to our booties. Now again, maybe you have a blanket down so that you have a little protection for your pelvis. And we're going to do boat pose. Now I know that boat is not necessarily an angle posture. Visually, it's an angle. It's going to definitely help build core and back. So we're stronger in those other postures, like triangle and side angle. So, and we're also going to do Untitled Konasana, which is goddess pose. So that's considered an angle posture as well. In English, no, but in Sanskrit, yes. So we're going to bring the knees in, lifting the belly. So what does that mean by lifting the belly? I'm pulling my navel into my spine and then try to pull my navel up into my diaphragm. So there's kind of a scoop, right? Lifting pelvic floor. Here's my angle. Ideally, the legs would be straight, but that's kind of hard today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's put those feet down, see if we can lift the booty. And then we put that butt right back down and go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to put those feet down, see if we can lift our booties. Right back down. Let's see if we can do a little bit more. Let's see if you can just lift the legs and keep your hands down. There's your angle. Nice tall spine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe you bend those knees. See if you can lift the booty up off the floor. Right back down. So we're going to see if we can do this and straighten and lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and cross, and lift, and release. Right? Nothing like boat pose to get you warmed up. We're going to pull those feet through. We're going to come forward onto hands and knees. Good morning, Jessie. I'm glad you could wake up and be with us, unless you're still doing yoga from bed. We're going to come to hands and knees. We're going to let that spine come up and down. And up. And down. One more time. Spine comes up and down. Flat back. Make a C with the spine to the right. Make a C with the spine to the left. Back to the center. Now, from here, shift back, child's pose, rest it out. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to slowly come up. Right arm comes up. We're going to take that arm, thread it through. Nice work here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to shift back. Come to table. We're smiling, working those faces. And left arm up. And thread through. I see you, Jessie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gently release, shifting back to come to table. Now, from this table, we're going to come up onto our knees. Now, I'm turning to face the camera, and you turn however you need to still be able to see your screen. Now, we're going to do a pose that's called gate pose. But gate pose is a lot like triangle pose, and it has angles in it, and it's going to help prep the body for the work we're going to do and make it to standing. So we're going to take the left leg out. So the only criteria that you have to do here when you turn on your mat is to make sure that this extended leg is still on the mat, not on the floor, so that it doesn't slide with you. Arms are out. We're going to let the right hand come down first. So my right hand is on the floor, my left hand is up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to come up and really lean into the left side here. So we're opening through side body, but this work really happens when we lean in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And slowly come up. Whew. Bring that knee in and let the other one come out. Remember, make sure you're on the mat or something that won't allow your foot to slide. Arms come out and hand comes down, lifting up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly we're going to come back up. Hand comes down, other one comes up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And back up. Oh, so much better. We're going to bring that right knee in, turn, and come down. And lengthen. Nice work here. Now, from these postures, we're going to come up to table, from table to down dog, bend and stretch. Feel those calves stretch, lengthening. Now, if you look at down dog, especially when we pull our bellies in and broaden through the back body, this down dog makes an angle, right? It's the top of a triangle for sure. So we see with awareness that throughout the body, we have angles. And it's because the way our joints are shaped in the orientation of how they bend. All those hinges make angles. And so the cheeky part of the practice today is doing poses that's the name. But ideally, and then realistically, all the poses we do have angles in them. And we bend the knees looking forward, stepping forward, fingertips flat back. Forward fold. Feels really good. And then inhale all the way up. Hands come back down. And release it out. Yes! We made it to our feet. So we're going to come to the front of the mat. You guys are still with me? Still hanging in there? I'm going to tuck in my shirt because it keeps wiggling. All right. So we're going to go through some more angles. And we're going to start with side angle. We're going to start out with side angle. So we're going to inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Fingertips flat back. Forward fold, soft bend the knee, step that right foot back. Now once that right foot gets back, we're going to ground that foot. Once we grind the foot, we're going to cartwheel up into warrior two. We're going to pause in warrior two because it's going to help you kind of get your stance. Is your knee going out? Are you rotating in hip? Are you grounding through foot? Then that left arm comes down, right arm reaches. Hips forward, shoulders back, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From there, we're going to come up. As we come up, we're going to revolve that now. So that right elbow comes around. Palms come together. We're in this revolved posture of revolved side angle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to let those hands slowly come down to the floor. Come to the ball of that right foot as we step back. We come from that plank. We're going to put those knees down, chest and chin down, roll down to the belly, soften the feet. Once we soften the feet, we're going to lift the chest and open through the heart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to let that chest come back down. Maybe a little wiggle here so that you can increase your digestion. Check in with the belly. It gives the tops of the feet even more time to stretch. Then we're going to press to come to table, from table to down dog. From down dog, we let that right leg come forward. We're going to cartwheel up into warrior two. Now, once we're in warrior two, right elbow comes down, left arm reaches over. Pushing the hips forward, shoulders back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to allow that left elbow to come around. We're going to put the bottoms of those hands together and come into prayer. Nice rotation here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to gently release the hands down. We're going to come to the ball of that left foot. As we come forward, fingertips flat back, forward fold, inhaling all the way up, hands come down, and release it out. Yeah, yes, you guys still there? I don't know. Some hearts, some breath, some something. It just seems like there's no feedback. There's not a lot of talking today. So from here, we're going to work on our next set of angles. We're going to work on wide angle. So hands come to the heart. We're going to step out to the right. Now once we come out to the right, we're going to put the hands behind. Rotate shoulders back. Come forward, hands come up. Wide angle, forward fold. So this is very much like Vista Konasana that we did earlier, but we were sitting on our booties. Now we're different space. Our body's just positioned differently. Still the same work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly we start to come back up. Release it out. All right, now from here we're going to lean forward, right hand down. Lots of working, less talking. Okay, good job. Right hand down, left arm up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Left hand comes down to the floor. Right hand comes up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That hand comes down. And bend those elbows, hanging forward. I think I figured it out. If Parker's not in here, so I'm lonely. Nice big stretch. Now we're going to bend those knees, slowly roll up. Should feel pretty darn good. Now from there we're going to step back to the front of the mat. So we're going to now do pyramid pose. And I know you're like, wait, that's not an angle. But it is. It's an angle with volume. That was a math joke. So we are going to do our pyramid pose. We're going to put our hands behind us. See if those elbows will come back, right? So the elbows are back. Maybe your hands are here. And we're going to turn behind us. So as we make that rotation, that right foot is forward and the left foot is back. And we're going to hinge the hips back. Now notice that walking like an Egyptian, right? That little, all the hieroglyphs that kind of have just this walking stance. We're going to hinge at the hips. We're going to start to push those hips back. As we lean forward at those hips, we're going to hollow out the belly. Elbows lifting, looking down, going towards the knee. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Press down through those feet to come up. We're going to rotate to the front of the mat. Nice tall spine, lifting pelvic floor, hollow out the belly. We're going to begin to fold forward again, pushing those hips back. Really releasing that leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly, we're going to start to come back up. Turn to the right, release those hands. Step back to the front of the mat. So we're going to walk it out a little bit. Nice wrist circles. So our last angle pose that we will do, no, we have two poses that we will do together. We're going to do goddess pose next. So we're going to put the hands at the heart. We're going to step back out. Now, we've already done wide angle, and we stepped out into this posture, into wide angle. Now we're going to do goddess pose. You're like, well, what's the angle? Well, in Sanskrit, it has angle in it. And it's, I have to try to remember, Utkatasana Konasana, which is different than Utkatasana, which is chair pose. So it's a little different. We're going to bend the knees, lift the pelvic floor, really tuck under. Hands are out. So there's lots of angles going on here, right? Especially in the arms. So we're going to sit back and down. We don't want the knees to go too far over the toes. So booty has to go back a little. 1, 2. Sit that booty back. 3. Get those toes down. Lift pelvic floor. Pull navel in. Smile. Muscles in the face. 4, 5. Press down through those feet to come up. Hands slowly come down. Rotate those shoulders a little bit. Maybe work through the neck. Other side. And as we release, we're going to turn those toes, step back to the front of the mat. Walk it out. Triangle pose. Inhale up. And exhale, forward folding. Fingertips flat back. Forward fold, we're going to bend those knees. Right foot comes back. We're going to ground that right foot. We're going to cartwheel up into warrior two. Now when we come into that warrior two, we're going to start to straighten this front leg. Arms are straight. We're going to lengthen forward and then tip. So that left hand comes down, right hand comes up. Hips forward, shoulders back. 1, 2, breathing, nice long spine. 3, 4, really work, hips forward, shoulders back. We want a nice straight line. We don't want to send our booties back. If you have to send your booty back, you're down too far. Maybe you need to come up closer to the knee, but not on the knee. And 5, we're going to come up. We're going to soften that knee, rest a little bit. Now we're getting ready to do a revolve triangle. Revolve triangle is kind of difficult. We try to pre-stretch this hip earlier, or this hip, earlier when we were laying down on the floor. So I'm going to show you the modified posture, which I teach all the time, that you guys never really get to see what that full posture looks like. So I'll show you both. So watch for a second and then we'll join in. So what I typically teach is that modified posture. That's with this knee bent and the hand on this side of the foot, right? And then we try to get this leg to straighten. So as you straighten that leg and rotate the shoulders, you feel this glute stretch, right? Now we typically do that modification because most folks, their hips are a little tight. What is that full posture if you're trying to get there? That full posture is this hand goes on the other side of the foot and the leg starts and stays straight. There's never a bend to straight. So for me to do that posture, what I would do is I would come here. I typically put my hand on my sacrum so I can tell if I have a square hips. And I make sure that they're square. I reach up. I fold at the hips like I'm going to do pyramid posture. Put my hand down next to the pinky. Hollow out my belly. So that's lifting that pelvic floor, hollowing out the belly, rotating shoulders, then lifting top arm. Takes a lot of work. That's why we do it the other way. That doesn't mean that you can't try and experiment in your practice while we're home working through our practice. So let's try for real this time. I'm going to teach the modified. If you want to try that full version, you can. We're going to turn those left toes out. We're going to bend the knees if we're in warrior two. Right hand comes down to the floor. Maybe you have to step in and change the angle of your foot. And straighten that left leg the best you can. Stack your shoulders, left hand comes up. You're still lifting pelvic floor. You're still hollowing out the belly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hand comes down, bending the knee. Press down through that foot to come up. Nicely done. Now we're going to try the other side. We're just going to step forward. So we're going to step forward. Feel the change in the body. Find your breath. Let's see if we can do that other side. Inhale up. Exhaling, forward folding. Fingertips flat back, forward fold. Bend those knees. Left foot goes back and grounding that foot. We're going to cartwheel up into warrior two. Now once we're in that warrior two, we're going to straighten that front leg. We're going to lengthen and tip. Maybe we come down further. Hips forward, shoulders back, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's your breath? Move your hips forward, shoulders back, 5. And let that hand come down, bend those knees, coming back up. So now we're going to try that revolved posture. Remember, I teach that modified posture, but you can do the full one if you like. So we're going to bring those hands back up like we're in warrior two. Now from warrior two, we're going to do that revolved side angle. or revolve triangle. So this back hand comes to the floor by the foot. We begin to straighten that right leg. Right arm comes up. And now I can see you. 1, 2, maybe you can look up at top hand. 3, maybe you're able to do that full version of the pose. 4, 5, we let that top hand come down. We bend the knees. Good morning, Jeannie. And back up. Now from here, we're just going to step forward. All the heavy lifting's done, right? All that work. So from here, we're going to slowly come down into a squat, letting that lower back release, letting those hips balance back out, and finding our breath. Lots and lots of work. Now from here, we're going to slowly sit right down on our booties, and we're going to hug those knees. And gently release. I love that shamrock, Mimi, thank you. So, for the funsies, remember at the beginning of class, I said for Frank's benefit and for the fun of class, that I would show you guys 8 angle pose because I thought that that might come up in comments. It didn't though. Asta Va Krasana. So Asta Va Krasana, 8 angle pose. I'm going to show it to you. When we're in person one day and you're feeling very flexible, I will try to teach you how to do the pose. I'll just do it on one side just to show you what it's like. So I kind of start with my foot here. This foot has to come over this shoulder. Okay? So I grab this foot, comes over this shoulder. Now, once I get this foot over this shoulder, I want to hook this foot under that foot so it'll lift it up for me so I don't have to do the work. This leg will do the work. Okay? So I lean forward and I put this foot over. So you see I just crossed the feet. That's all I did. Then this hand is flat. So I made a shelf. So it looks like how this elbow looks here. And that shelf is where my leg is sitting. My other hand's here. So I only have to have enough strength to lift my keister. And during quarantine, there has been a lot of macaroni, cheese, and pasta because that's easy to make. So my keister may be a little heavier. We'll see. We lift up. And then you tighten and lengthen forward. So that's your 8 angle pose this morning. We're smiling about it. It's for fun. That was it. So yes. So we're going to grab those knees, roll back, and pull those knees in. Nice little rock from side to side. And you can totally do those poses. That pose isn't nearly as hard as it looks. It's just a little bit of a balancing issue. And we're going to put the bottoms of those feet flat on the floor. We're going to rock those knees from side to side. Feeling that work, maybe a little wrist circles if you need it. Lock those feet in, arms come in, bottoms of the feet are flat. We're going to press down through those feet, lift the booties up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly, we roll right back down. And once we roll down, we're going to then extend those legs. Finding just the right spot for you to relax down. 1. We settle in. Top body sinks down. We release the feet and the ankles, the shin and calf. We move through the knees and into the thighs. We soften the glutes and pelvic belly. We release the lower back and navel, mid back and solar plexus, shoulder blades and heart. We lift the collarbones, we lengthen the neck and soften the face. We feel that inhale travel up the back body and down the front body, smoothing out the tissue, aligning the fibers of each muscle, getting the wrinkles out of the fascia and allowing there to be no catches, softening down any type of scar tissue or inflammation. We feel the balance between the left and right side from the front to the back. Now from here, if you want to continue to stay and work through your Shavasana and sleep a little bit with your fur babies, that's okay. Maybe you can begin to move your fingers and toes. Maybe you bend one knee and then the other knee. Rock those legs from side to side. And bring the knees into the chest, releasing that back body. Maybe you roll to the right side and rest. And then maybe you make it all the way up to a comfortable seated position. We let that body come up to the seated position. We turn the head to the right. We turn the head to the left. And back to the center. We bring the hands to the heart. We remind ourselves of all the amazing things we have in our life to be thankful for. We send out love and kindness and compassion to those who need it. You're going to end the practice with an Om if you're comfortable, inhaling. Bowing forward, namaste. Peace be with you. Go safely. And thank you for coming. I really appreciate that you practice with me every morning, that you show up here ready to work and give me support so that I can in return support you. I love you to the moon and back. Thank you for the letters. Thank you for the donations. It's really made this time self-reflecting and self-nourishing for me. I really appreciate you because I wasn't sure if what I was doing was making a difference. And letters tell me otherwise, and I really, really appreciate that. So I love you from my house to your house, and Parker, wherever he is, I'm sure he loves you too. I'll give him extra treats from you guys. If you have any requests or comments, just leave them below. Maybe you can share this video with your family and friends, or encourage them to go to YouTube to pick up watch the videos there if they don't use Facebook or they're out of town. Or a lot of times it's easier to find the videos if you go to YouTube versus trying to get through Facebook. Feel free to leave donations. They're received in love and appreciated in love. And I love you. Mwah. Bye. See you tomorrow.